For the first time since 1996-1997, the North Carolina Tar Heels are 3-0 for a second consecutive season after beating Minnesota by a score of 31-13. Minnesota did its best to muck up the game with that Big Ten West brand of football, but despite that, the Tar Heels won ugly, dismantling the Golden Gophers, a positive indicator looking forward that UNC can win and control games against Power 5 competition without coming anywhere close to perfection. Finding one stat that can tell the story of the game, I'd highlight both teams' success or lack thereof on third downs. Minnesota was 3 of 12, while UNC was 11 of 16. For the Carolina defense, it found ways to make the plays to get off the field. A few key instances off memory: Cedric Gray, he gets through the line of scrimmage, he puts pressure on the quarterback, and Power Echols came away with an interception from the errant pass. A similar moment happened a bit later, where an imposing Des Evans found his way to the quarterback's feet, blew him up, and Armani Chapman picked off the duck in the end zone. This is a game where the total sacks don't truly capture the full picture, because although UNC had just one lone sack, the consistent pressure made it difficult for the opponent to feel comfortable. Anytime Minnesota threw the ball, that felt like a major win for UNC, with the Golden Gophers completing less than 40% of their passes, an almost impossible task in this era of football. The other area that I came away impressed with the Tar Heel defense was on the sudden change short field possessions, as UNC held Minnesota to 3 points off of Drake May's 2 turnovers. Carolina has a dude in cornerback Elijah Huzzie. He looks like he's running routes for receivers with the anticipation he brings. I feel like we can confidently say through 3 games, he's the best defensive back to come through Chapel Hill since MJ Stewart, which was 7 seasons ago. Offensively, those May interceptions were the only things keeping Minnesota in the game. You could say May looked off, or he looked uncomfortable at points throughout the game because of the expectations he set with his standard of play. And then you look at his final box score, and he throws for over 400 yards for just the second time in his UNC career, completing 73% of his passes. He's a special talent and a cheat code that highlights how scary this UNC team can be when it can clean up some things and bring its A game. You saw what this offense could be with a healthy Nate McCollum finally, as a legit #1 option, with the Georgia Tech transfer hauling in 15 catches for 165 yards. The first 2 games highlighted why UNC was so aggressive bringing in talent at the receiver position in the portal, and this game demonstrated what that talent can do, especially in a contest that becomes one-dimensional due to a lack of a run game. UNC entered Saturday averaging 5.8 yards per carry, which was 18th best in the NCAA, and essentially got 0 run game, averaging 2.8 yards per carry, a result perhaps of Willie Lampkin, Carolina's best offensive lineman, missing this one. Sure, UNC could have put Minnesota away a whole lot earlier, but even when the Golden Gophers grabbed momentum back, UNC almost immediately snatched it back, and that's an improvement over years past. Most importantly, when Carolina gets on the plane to Pittsburgh for the start of conference play next week, that perfect record, it's coming with them. From Kenan Stadium, I'm Taylor Vippolis, signing off for Inside Carolina.